confirmed that that plane was coming from Wichita, Kansas to San Diego, and we know when it was supposed to arrive around 4 a.m. That was at a time where the fog was very thick. Of course, federal investigators will determine on whether that was a factor in this.
As firefighters tell us, it's a Cessna small plane. This was a dual-engine business jet, according to the flight information from Wichita to San Diego, 4 a.m. To not be able to see in front while you're driving, you can only imagine what it's like flying.
I mean, keep in mind, we're also looking at video now with the sun up somewhat. This was in the middle of the night. Skies were still very dark. And the thing is, the cloud bases were very low to the ground. The cloud ceilings were very high. So instead of a thin layer out there of cloud cover, we were working with a very thick layer of clouds. Current visibility has started to improve in a couple spots on the map, including Miramar, where we're at 3 miles of visibility, but that is still not where we'd like it to be. So these numbers still need some improvement in the Miramar area. Remember, this crash took place in this area. 2 miles in Kearney Mesa, half a mile up in Carlsbad, and 1 mile of visibility in Oceanside to start off the morning. We'll give you a live look outside. This is from Mount Soledad, where you can see how thick that layer of clouds is. There are occasions where when we have that layer of fog out there, we're able to see both the bottom and the top, the cloud ceiling per se. But right now you can see how thick of a layer that is. It extends all the way up to the top of your screen, which could likely play a role in how high up that plane started to have maybe some confusion or some concern related to landing, and how difficult it would be to go from that level all the way down to the surface where that fog is still visible. Now, let's take a look at satellite radar, because this kind of gives a good picture of how far east that cloud layer is. I'll zoom in specifically to where that crash site was in relation to Montgomery Field, and you could see those two separate locations and the proximity. So right now what we see is that Arrow Drive is that line that extends all the way from where Montgomery Field is located, and it goes all the way out to the 15. This crash took place right off the 15, just off to the east of it, and that's that Arrow Drive exit right there. This crash site was in very close proximity to Montgomery Field. That's the first note. Second thing to mention is that that layer of clouds out there is absolutely visible. So when I remove that layer of clouds, you can see what we're talking about. But if I add the clouds right now, you can see how thick they are and how they're basically just blanketing the entirety of the screen. Another live look.